That night began like any other. Quiet, still, the kind of silence that presses against the walls until it feels alive. Aaron had fallen asleep early again, the pale flicker of the TV dancing across his face. I lay beside him, awake, staring at the ceiling. It's strange how two people can share a bed and still feel oceans apart. His body was there, but his warmth wasn't. Somewhere between the steady rhythm of his breathing and the hollow quiet of the room, I realized what I had been avoiding for months. I felt invisible. Toby lifted his head from the floor, ears twitching at the faint sound of my sigh. Dogs have a way of knowing things humans overlook. His eyes found mine, soft, patient, knowing. Without words, he offered what my marriage had forgotten: presence. I reached down and brushed my fingers through his fur. He thumped his tail once, slow and steady, as if to remind me I wasn't alone. Unable to sleep, I slipped out of bed. Toby followed, claws tapping gently on the wooden floor. The living room was wrapped in moonlight. I pulled a blanket over my shoulders and sank into the couch. Toby jumped up beside me, curling close, his head resting on my lap. The house exhaled quietly around us. For the first time in weeks, I felt comfort. Simple, wordless, pure. I thought of Aaron, of the man who once stayed up with me talking about everything and nothing. When did those conversations fade into static? When did love become routine and routine become silence? My chest ached with memories: laughter, road trips, midnight dancing in the kitchen. Now it was all replaced by snores and unread messages. Toby's breathing steadied mine. He didn't need promises or explanations, just presence. The clock whispered past midnight. Outside, the wind brushed softly against the glass. I closed my eyes, and then heard it. A dull thump. Not the wind. Something else. Toby's head shot up, muscles tightening beneath my hand. Another sound, closer this time. My pulse quickened. The room suddenly felt smaller, the shadows heavier. I held my breath, straining to listen. Toby jumped down, a low growl rolling from his chest. "What is it, boy?" I whispered. He didn't look back. He stood by the hallway, facing the front door. Another thud, faint but deliberate. My heart hammered. Aaron slept on, oblivious. Toby moved forward, steady and silent. I followed, fear crawling up my spine. The curtain swayed slightly. Outside, a shadow. Someone, or something, was there. The knock came next. Slow, intentional. Each sound echoed down the hallway like a heartbeat. Toby barked once, sharp, commanding. I froze behind him, every nerve alert. The door handle rattled, just once, and then stopped. Silence. Only Toby's growl filled the space between fear and courage. Seconds stretched into forever. I could hear the rush of my own blood. Then, faint footsteps retreated down the path. Gone. Toby turned toward me, tail wagging gently, eyes soft again. I knelt, wrapping my arms around him, the adrenaline dissolving into tears. He had protected me, not just from whatever was outside, but from the emptiness that had been haunting me for months. His loyalty filled every hollow place my marriage had left behind. I pressed my face into his fur, whispering, "Thank you." His heartbeat thudded calmly against my cheek. When I finally woke Aaron, he muttered something about checking in the morning, then rolled over. The contrast stung more than the fear. Toby stayed beside me until dawn, his breathing slow and steady, a lullaby for my restless soul. I watched the sky turn pale, wondering when I had stopped expecting comfort from the man I married. Morning arrived soft and golden. I sat outside with my coffee while Toby lay at my feet, sun pooling over his back. Aaron scrolled through his phone at the table, half listening as I mentioned the noise. He just nodded. Toby's eyes met mine again, calm, loyal, sure. I smiled, faintly, realizing love sometimes hides in unexpected forms. Maybe love isn't always romantic. Maybe it's loyal, wordless, and quietly brave. Maybe it's a heartbeat that stays awake when the world turns its back. That night, Toby reminded me of what love truly means: presence, protection, and the courage to stand between fear and peace. And though the house feels safe again, every creak of the floorboards still carries that memory. The shadow outside, the silence after, the steady warmth of a dog's heart against mine. Aaron will never know how close danger came, but I will never forget who stood guard when the night knocked. Because sometimes the soul that saves you doesn't wear a wedding ring, it simply stays awake.